NBA icon Magic Johnson, a 5-time champion, 3-time Finals MVP, and one of the most brilliant basketball minds in history, once declared, "No one has ever been able to withstand the pressure like Michael Jordan." Few moments in NBA history validate this statement more powerfully than Jordan's fierce, high-stakes battles against the relentless bad boy Pistons. This wasn't just another game. It was the peak of a fierce rivalry that left fans hanging on the edge for years. The Detroit Pistons had a fearsome strategy known as the Jordan Rules, a game plan so ruthless it seemed designed to cage their opponent's most captivating scoremaker. Each time Jordan made a move, he would face great force as if all Pistons players were resolved to break him down. The way the Pistons did it was by implementing what has become known as the Jordan Rules, which is a set of principles devised by former Pistons head coach Chuck Daly after Jordan dropped 59 points on the Pistons in the lead-up to the 1988 NBA playoffs. The general idea was to limit Jordan the best they could by throwing different looks at him and being physical with him. It began with Joe Dumars and Dennis Rodman, who served as Detroit's primary defenders on Jordan, and extended to the likes of Laimbeer, John Sally, and Rick Mahorn, who were tasked with doubling Jordan and protecting the paint against him. Yet, on that fateful day, everything changed. Jordan's desire was to break the Pistons' dominance and create his own legacy, not merely winning. Imagine, a 3-time Finals MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, refusing to back down. He stepped into the arena not just as a player, but a warrior willing to dismantle a dynasty. As the audience watched in awe, Jordan turned fear into anger by exposing the Pistons' defense like nobody ever thought possible. With every explosive drive to the basket and acrobatic layup, he showcased not only his physical prowess, but also an unwavering determination that electrified the crowd. In a display of almost surgical precision, he dissected the Pistons' defensive schemes, revealing weaknesses that had previously gone unnoticed, marking a pivotal shift in the balance of power within the league. As famed sports journalist David Halberstam once wrote, Michael's success was never just about his skills, but his relentless will to dominate. It was as if he refused to let failure exist around him. In that moment, Jordan inspired a generation with his brilliance. The aftermath of that game became a turning point, both for him and for basketball's future. Did you know that some sports rivalries were so intense they changed the game's narrative forever? For years, the Detroit Pistons' one-track Jordan Rules strategy was a well-thought-out plan to stop Jordan from scoring and shine in the playoffs. And guess what? It worked. Time after time, from 1988 to 1990, the Bulls watched their hopes of winning a championship collapse under the Pistons' fierce defense. They were like brick walls, blocking every path to victory. You might be wondering, how could one player, the superstar of basketball, be under so much pressure? It's simple. The Pistons were the gatekeepers of the Eastern Conference. Their tenacious defense and physical style of play created a reputation that made them not just competitors, but the benchmark for any contender seeking a shot at the NBA Finals in the 1980s and early 1990s. But then, something incredible happened. In 1991, Jordan changed. He didn't just show up to play, he showed up to win. Rather than allowing Pistons' physicality to rattle him, he transformed into a basketball wizard, growing stronger and smarter with each hard foul, and turned every brutal game an opportunity to outthink opponents and dodge their traps. Fast forward to the Eastern Conference Finals of 1991. The world watched in awe as Michael Jordan wasn't just facing the Pistons anymore. He was taking them apart piece by piece. He exposed their weaknesses and turned the tide in a way nobody saw coming. That day marked not just a win for Jordan, but a monumental shift in basketball history. Nicknamed the Bad Boys, they played with such ferocity that they were able to intimidate all their opponents. With names like Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer, Dennis Rodman, and Rick Mahorn on the attack, they mastered a brutal method of play that was both brutal and intimidating. Their secret weapon? The Jordan Rules, a game plan that was designed to stop no one else but Michael Jordan, the superstar of Chicago Bulls. Brendan Malone, who was an assistant coach with the Pistons at the time, summed up the Jordan Rules in The Last Dance. On the wings, we were going to push him to the elbow and we're not going to let him drive to the baseline. Number 2, when he's on top, we're going to influence him to his left. When he got the ball in the low post, we were going to trap him from the top. That's the Jordan rules, and it was that simple. For 3 long seasons, Jordan was always facing a brutal defense where Pistons were just hard to shake off. Ever wonder how a team can turn a superstar into just another player on the court? That's exactly what the Detroit Pistons did with their infamous Jordan rules. Imagine Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time, bent to change the way the game is played. But every time he tried to make a statement, the Pistons were waiting. They'd shove, push, and even hit him hard to the floor just to intimidate him. It was like a game of chess where one player wasn't just trying to win. For some time it worked, because Jordan found it difficult against their unyielding defense, and it looked like they had discovered how to cage him. However, in 1991, everything took a different turn. Jordan did not allow their plan to weigh him down. Instead, he learned from it and came back stronger than ever. The Jordan rules forced him to add more weight and get stronger. He added about 15 pounds of muscle in the summer of 1990 with the help of renowned trainer Tim Grover, and was ready to dish out pain to the Pistons instead of receiving it. In episode 3 of ESPN's The Last Dance docuseries, Rodman, who was a 2-time champion with the Pistons and 3 times with the Bulls, can't compare anyone to Jordan. I can't compare Michael Jordan to anybody because for him to survive that and still maintain that greatness, I mean, it's very unparalleled. The Jordan rules kept him down but also provided fuel that led to his ultimate success. Here's something interesting. The 1991 Eastern Conference Finals marked a turning point for Michael Jordan and the NBA as a whole. It set the stage for him to win his first NBA championship that June against the Los Angeles Lakers, solidifying his status as one of the game's all-time greats. Michael was no longer that young lad with flashy moves we all loved watching. He had grown into a seasoned star who played smarter through his teammates like Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant by his side. This series was not just about basketball. This was about Jordan claiming his place among the greatest ever. Now to Game 4, which was an exhilarating moment of this legendary showdown. The Chicago Bulls had only 1 win left before sweeping the Detroit Pistons, and there could not be any higher stakes than this one. This was no ordinary game. This was where Michael Jordan confronted infamous Jordan Rules Pistons strategy aimed at stopping him from scoring points at will. But guess what? On that day, he wasn't taking any of it. Jordan put on a show, tearing through their defense like a hot knife through butter, racking up 29 points, 8 assists, and 8 rebounds. This game was really special because MJ turned Pistons' physical style against them. Instead of getting overwhelmed, he showed off his improved passing and trust in his teammates. Every time the Pistons overcommitted on defense, he punished them. The Bulls were on the rise and the basketball world was about to change forever. This was not just a turning point for Jordan personally, but also for the whole league. The atmosphere was electric, and fans could feel the tide turning in favor of the Bulls. Then came the unforgettable walk-off. With seconds left in Game 4, the Pistons, visibly shaken, stormed off the court without a handshake. It was a jaw-dropping moment that screamed defeat. They realized their time had come. Jordan had not only outplayed them, but had also masterfully unraveled their confidence. The bad boys were left shaken, as their loss to the Bulls symbolized not just defeat, but the end of an era for the Pistons. Their infamous decision to walk off the court without shaking hands after Game 4, widely criticized, became a defining moment in their rivalry, revealing the bitter animosity that permeated their encounters. As Michael Jordan put it, the Pistons are undeserving champions, bringing to fore the hatred that underscored this transformative chapter in basketball history. With Pistons behind him, Jordan, together with his team, launched into their first championship run by defeating Magic Johnson and Lakers the final round of the playoffs. Pistons faded away, leaving only memories of their former greatness while Michael Jordan established his legacy. It was not only an assertion, but a loud proclamation that a new king had arrived in town when Michael defeated the Detroit Pistons. So, what's your take? Do you think this rivalry was the defining moment of Michael Jordan's career? Did it really make him the greatest of all time? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you're hungry for more, be sure to watch my video about the Bulls' incredible championship journey. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more exciting basketball insights.